Hi everybody, welcome back to Bobby's Bucks, and today we're going to talk about what you can be doing in December. If you have a chance during the holidays to make it to your hunting property late season in December, maybe you've already filled your tags, maybe you're going to do a little bit more hunting, but we'll still talk about some things that you can be doing on your hunting property in December. Stick with us, we're going to talk all about it. Here we go. One of the reasons why we love deer hunting so much is because the venison is chemical free. This is absolute organic meat, all natural. And you know, if you're interested in that sort of thing, we also have a rabbitry. We grew this food plot for our whitetails and rabbits, our wild whitetails and our rabbitry. We raise rabbits for meat production. If you'd like more information, check out the Rabbitry Center. That's our Rabbitry channel. Red clover, white clover, it's vetch, and there's some radish in it, some turnips are in it, and basically whatever we were done with, we came in here and we threw into the food plot. There's a lot of radish on the other side. I'll show it to you here in a second. Or there's a big turnip over there. But yeah, let me show you this fresh rub, and this is the first week of December. But you can see where they're coming right through these pines, and you can actually see the food, the turnips, these little radishes that are in the ground. I just broke it off, but this is a terrific food for rabbits and deer. The rabbits can eat the tops and the deer can eat the radishes, or the deer come in and as soon as it gets cold, the sugar comes out, the glucose is activated, and you get a lot of deer hitting it because it's tasty. That's when it actually starts to taste even better. Sometimes it takes a year or two before deer even start to eat the brassica. It's weird, but yeah. There's lots of food in here, and then there's deer coming through and rubbing on it. And it's nice to come out to the property this time of year and find out our bucks visiting the property. You know, a lot of people don't run their trail cameras this time of year. As soon as they tag out, they just stop paying attention. But you know, this time of year you come out and you can see if there's any fresh rubs, even some scrapes. Sometimes they're still making a lot of sign, and because you do have a second rut first week of December, we're gonna have bucks trying to breed those last doe. So any remaining does that didn't get bred the first round, 28 days later, they're gonna get the last of them. All of them will be bred. So this is good to see. We have lots of food throughout the entire food plot. There's lots of food. You can see this major trail right here. I mean, that's a highway right there. It's a great spot for a trail cam. I always try to put my trail cameras right up and down where they're running. Also, all our food plots have winter wheat in them, so they're going to have some food growing up whenever it's 40 degrees Fahrenheit or warmer. We always overseed September 15th and October 15th. So, you know, late season is really different, looks a lot different. There's not as much screening, and it's beneficial to go out to your food plots, go out to your hunting properties, even if your tags are filled, and look at your property. Look which corner lacks security or fencing or screening, because deer, you know, are going to use a property more often when they can move their way through it and feel safe. We still have some apples and pears left on these trees. Looks like we have a couple red apples left. Some granny apples, they're starting to go from green to brown. Looks like we have a couple pears stuck in the tree, but they're gonna start hitting these radishes in these brassica fields really hard. So this time of year, we're gonna come out here and we're gonna look at these walls, because look at this brush. So for example, look at this wall, and we let this grow wild, and there's a screen, and October, November, this is all green and it blocks this food plot that's on the other side. And then the cover for that food plot is the pines that we planted about 10 years ago, and now they're 15 feet at least. So this time of year, if you visit your properties, you'll probably be able to see where maybe you could hinge cut a tree and create some sort of obstacle that would allow some security, and that's going to allow some food. It's going to introduce a lot of food. Woody browse, that's hundreds and hundreds of pounds of food. When you drop or hinge cut a tree, it's still going to live. You can just bend it over, and deer will be able to feed on it into the spring until things grow up where there's going to be more abundant food. But you know, so all these hedges and this brush, this is what you can see where deer are coming through here, and they're rubbing on these trees. They're bedding down right here. There's some trees over here that are rubbed up, and these are after the rut. They've been rubbed up after the rut. And So we have oats, peas, and beans in here, but all the oats are yellow now. So right there you can see a tree stand that is so brushed in. Early season, you can't even see it. But we need to brush that in. We need to figure out, or just take it down and move it to a completely different area, because for one, it's a little too close to the food plot, and two, there's absolute zero cover. So, you know, November is when it really started to die back and open up, and that's a problem. You know, we do have some old Christmas tree parts up there on the tree stand to make it look a little bit more natural, but this time of year it really sticks out. Here's another view of that tree stand, and you can see if we were to try to hunt that stand, you're just way too out in the open. You know, I mean, early season, it's got all this brush in there. I mean, it was to the point where we had to cut stuff away to get even an arrow through. But this time of year, an older deer is going to pick you out right away. You probably have a chance at sitting in there comfortably and harvesting a younger deer. It's going to be some good eating. If you're going to be trying to go after older deer, then you're going to want to either put the stand on the back side of the tree, or just take it down and have a different setup where everything's covered. Or you could always put up a blind or one of those ladder stands that have a cover over it. Let me show you another stand like that. Here's a perfect example of an early season stand and a late season stand. You can see how that's covered over there. And you can't get in that tree right now because they'll pick you off right away. So this crabapple tree right here is a tree that I absolutely want to build a blind in. And even if I take a 2x10 and cut a V out of each end and just wedge it into a couple branches, I'll stand on that and I'll cut some shooting lanes. That's the plan for next year. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to move that ladder stand and get it into all these branches, because I want to fit it in there where I'm just part of the tree. All this cover, as long as I cut out 3 shooting lanes, if I can, if it's possible, then that may be the best stand on the property. You know, we're always trying to change our property for the better, and if there's some screening or some more security we can offer to the deer, or if there's better hunting stands, I mean, this is the time to do it. If you're tagged out, you know, let the habitat improvement start right now. Also, your watering holes, make sure they still have sticks in them so you don't have floating chipmunks or dead animals in there. If they need to be topped off, then be sure to do that. They're really going to need their water, especially when the weather isn't frozen. This time of year, it's usually frozen. You know, towards the end of the season, I'll keep shooting as long as there's not snow covering the entire yard. You know, 1 or 2 inches, that's not a big deal. But when it's covered here in Michigan, you know, sometimes it'll be 2 feet. Towards the end of the season, you're always going to be filling doe tags. You know, you'll have your late doe season, and we like to try to bow hunt. Usually I'll try to take 1 doe at least off this field. With all the food plots that we grow, it's kind of a waste unless I take at least 1 deer worth of venison. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned because we're going to be adding more content. We're going on a rifle hunt this week. Also, we're going to be bow hunting right through December, so we're going to be adding more content. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Almost create these false senses of security. You're going to want to create these false sense of security. No? You're going to want to create... You want them to feel safe when they're moving their way through the property.